Hello everyone, you welcome back to Devon's Chess. I hope you guys are doing good because I've come back with another interesting chess endgame puzzle, and just as usual it is white to move and mate black in 2 moves. Black has a knight, white has 2 rooks, and white has to move twice to mate black. I want to see if you guys could find it because usually it is easy to mate if you have 2 rooks on the same rank pairing up, but this is tricky because black has a stubborn knight that could protect it from all other variations that could lead to a mate in 2 apart from 1. There's only one variation that could lead to a mate in 2, and I want to see if you guys could find it. So if you don't mind, pause the video, try to find that move or those 2 moves, and we see if you could find them. So pause the video, try to solve them, and then come back when you found them. Good luck. Alright, so did you find that 2 moves that white has to move to mate black? Please let us know in the comment section what you found. Do not forget to like the video and also subscribe. Let's make 300 subscribers before the end of tomorrow. Okay, so let's try to solve it together. First and foremost, first instinct would tell you to move this rook to a8. And then that wouldn't be a mate in 2 because black can protect by playing the knight to c8, and then if you try to check, black can still escape and there's no mate in 2 moves. Same thing if you tried to actually play this rook to h8, black can still protect with the knight and you can't mate in the next move. Even if you try anyhow, black can still escape. So taking those rooks to the 8th rank is not going to help you. Secondly, if you try to check something like that, you're not going to mate because black can escape. If you try to check something like this, you leave your rook hanging and it's gone. Same thing if you try to do it the other way around using this rook, it's not going to help. Black can escape. You try to check, black can take your rook, and it's not going to help if you try to do that. Okay, so let's try to see if we could get it if we used a waiting move by the king, something like king a2, and king a2 would actually lead us to a mate in 2 depending on what black plays. For example, if black played king c8, then a8 is mate, black can't do anything about it, right? Or if black responded with e8, then h8 is mate, black can't do anything about it. Or if black responded with a lousy knight move, something like knight e4, then you could mate by putting either rook on the 8th rank. For example, h8 is mate. So we get the mate in 2 depending on how black reacts on that. But then black can actually prevent that by playing this knight to f7. Someone would be like, that knight is not protected, why are you trying to put it there? The idea of this knight is this knight protects the h8 square, right? So you can't mate from that square. And if you try to check something like this, black can escape and take refuge behind the knight. So if you try to check from this square, your knight is gone. Your rook is gone. So that knight there is very important. If you try to check, black can actually protect us using that. So we have to find a way of winning because the waiting move is not going to help us, right? So let's try to see if you could get a waiting move by the rook. Could it help us? For example, rook a3. Rook a3, if black plays a lousy move, something like that, this is mate. Or if black plays again a lousy move like c8, we covered that, this is mate. Or if black plays that could be mate. But then we saw black could actually just respond with this, and you can't mate black in the next move. If you try to check, black escapes here. If you try to anything you do, you can't mate. You can't go here because your rook is gone. And yeah, it's not going to help us. Same thing if you tried a waiting move with this rook via the h file, you're not going to get anything because black can just respond with this. You can't mate. You can't go to h8 to mate because your rook will be gone, and you can't actually do anything about it. So going through the a file and the h file doesn't help us. What about if we try to check along here these squares? Could we get to mate in the next move? Let's try and see. First and foremost, we can't go to this square because this knight is going to capture us. We can't go to this square. We can't go to these ones. We have covered them. There's always an escape for black. So that leaves us with only one square. This one. Let me highlight it alone. This one, G7, is the magic square because it's the only square we haven't covered. But then which rook goes there? For example, if we try to go with this rook, there is an escape. Black just puts its knight here, and how are you going to mate in the next move? No way, because even if you try to check like this, black can just move, and those are two moves without a mate. So that means we have to put the other rook there, right? We have to put this rook here. The idea of putting the rook here is because remember when black used its knight on f7 to protect this square h8? Now, when this rook goes to g7, that means it can go to the 8th rank without being threatened by the knight. Something like this. White can just go to g8 and that's mate. And black can't prevent that anymore, right? Or if black doesn't even play that, if black tries to play something like this, then this is mate. Black can't do anything about it. Or if black responds with something like this, then this is mate. So whatever black tries to do, after rook from h7 to g7, you're going to mate in the next move. So that was the solution for the puzzle. I hope you guys found it. If you found it, let us know in the comment section. If you didn't, share with us the variation that you found. It could be wrong, but having a very good variation that we have not talked about in the video. So that was it. Do not forget to like the video and also subscribe. Let's keep growing the channel. I appreciate your good reviews. You guys keep me going. I really appreciate. And until next video, have a good day.